Okay, video 3, content creation. This is obviously very important. You can't succeed without some form of content, even if it's just a handful of photos. And obviously you should have more than a handful. I can't tell you what kind of content to create, but the thing that I want to drive home is quality. Lighting, clear photos, like good quality, high res photos. It doesn't have to be 4K videos, but make sure it's not blurry or grainy. Don't use Snapchat filters. If you use Snapchat filters, I swear to God. Now, I use a filter on TikTok because 9 times out of 10 I'm not wearing makeup, but that's like a little thing and it just adds eyelashes. You know, it doesn't really do a whole lot. That's fine. I'm talking about the crazy thing where you've got like cat ears and your tongue is sticking out or something stupid. Don't do that. Nobody wants to see that, I promise you. The more high quality you look, the more popular you're going to be. Now, obviously, some people like the true amateur, poorly lit stuff, but that's not where the bulk of your customers are going to find themselves. Before you get started, invest in a handful of things. I obviously have a ring light. I'm sure that it is shining on my glasses. I'm sorry, I can't fix that right now. There are diffusers that you can put on ring lights. I haven't found that they really help all that much. They certainly don't stop the glare on my glasses, so bear that in mind. I would recommend getting a ring light or a studio light of some kind that is inexpensive. You can find most ring lights for between $30 and $50. I know that's not a small amount, especially in this economy, but it is something to invest in because most of them come with a phone mount too. And I promise you, that's going to be key for you because even if you don't need the ring light part, you're going to need a tripod of some kind. You cannot rest your phone against shit. I've worked with people who do that and it drives me insane because you cannot get the angle you want to get. You cannot get quality content that way. So please, please invest in at least a tripod with a phone mount. As long as you have a phone with a not broken camera and it's fairly good quality, you will be fine, I promise. There's no need to invest in an expensive camera, certainly not when you're getting started. I've been using my phone for 6 years. Obviously, it's not the same phone. I've had to upgrade a few times. Second thing I recommend is if you do wear glasses, do your best to angle your ring light so that there's not going to be a glare. Obviously, I'm not the best at doing that. You're going to have that problem. Or just don't wear your glasses. You got a couple of options there. But do your best because the less someone sees the ring light or the lighting setup or whatever, the more immersed they're going to be in your content. This is a do as I say, not as I do situation here. When you are taking photos, videos, what have you, hide your personal information. Don't take a photo where you're standing in front of a desk with your mail sitting on it. Don't take a photo of a box you got from Amazon with a wish list item that happens to show your address. Don't do that. That's silly. Don't take a photo of your living room with a stocking with somebody's name on it because I've got one right next to me with my roommate's name on it. It's March. We haven't put up our Christmas stuff yet. Do your best to keep your background clear and tidy and free of clutter. I've got a plant here, I've got a plant up there and a light, but I did have to move a Christmas pillow and a blanket that's covered in cat fur before I sat down. I thought about the image and I worked with it. The important thing is, again, to make it look quality, to make it look like you care. And especially if you're a dom, you want to make it look like you don't have a care in the world. Your stuff isn't untidy. You've got a sub doing all of that for you. You have the money for the space that you need. You want to make it look like you know what you're doing because the more amateur you look, the newer you look, the more you're going to get preyed upon by scammers and people who are just going to waste your time. When it comes to the best angles, those are going to be up to you. I don't know what's going to work best for you, whether from beneath, from above, from the side. I don't know because I don't know what you look like, so I don't know your best side, your best angle, etc. But if you want to take photos and you don't have someone to take those photos for you, I recommend setting up your phone on its tripod and starting the video and move slowly. This is one of those instances where you have to make sure the lighting is good because if it's not, your photos may turn out grainy and that's obviously not what you want. So start moving slowly. Each pose, do a little, do a movement, but don't move like lightning to get into that movement because you're gonna find that even the in-between motions can still create good photos. And at the very least, you might even find a good 5-second clip to take from it. And if you're moving too quickly, you're not gonna be able to catch that. Building on that, content can come in a variety of ways, not just photos, but the videos that you write out a script for maybe, that you plan out. But On top of those, even just a video of you walking down the street with your tits bouncing, a video of your feet when you're in the tub, something like that. Just the little things, the everyday things are actually going to be really, really good teasers for customers, for subs, for fans, whomever. You have to ingrain it in yourself to constantly be thinking about, what content can I make from this random encounter? Oh, I'm in the bathroom at a bar. I'm going to take a quick photo with my tits out. Oh, I'm at a game with friends. Let me take a photo of our beer and make a sub pay for that. So many options in everyday life, and I know that I don't take advantage of all of them. I'm trying to get better about it because I've been out of the game for a hot minute because of my back issues, so I know that I'm a little bit slower. So many opportunities in your everyday life to take these short teasing videos, to take photos, to make this teasing content to get people to subscribe, to get people to submit to you, again, whatever your persona is. You have to always be thinking about it, and I do promise that it will get easier over time. Now, I talked about blurring out face and things like that in a previous video, but I want to talk about it really quickly again. As a reminder, there's an app called Point Blur, which is totally free. You can only do photos, I believe. And then there is Canva, where you can use their AI blur tool to, again, blur out your face, blur out identifying marks, things like that. If you want to blur out things in a video, I recommend just covering them. Wear a mask, cover tattoos with, medical tape or something like that, because the video editing software I'm going to talk about in just a minute, it's not the best at blurring stuff out, but it'll work in a pinch. I've used it to blur out somebody's face. I don't love doing it because it is a lot of work, but if he had worn a mask, it would have been a lot easier on me. So just bear that in mind. Now, talking about the editing software, there are always going to be softwares that you can use for free. I don't have access to something like iMovie because I don't have a Mac. I left Apple years ago and I'm not returning. I use a program called Wondershare Filmora. I know that there are other programs out there that are free, and there are others out there that are way more expensive that probably do a lot more. Not probably, they do a lot more. This program is $50 a year, not $50 a month, $50 for the year. Now, that's more than double what it was when I first started, but at the same time, I do think it's worth it because I use it so much. It allows me to add a logo to the bottom corner of stuff. It allows me to add a watermark to teasers. It allows me to, again, blur out somebody's face. It allows me to add transitions and fades. It allows me to do a whole bunch of things. It's very user-friendly. It's very intuitive. I'm pretty tech savvy, so I don't usually have a problem with that stuff, but I think most people would find this fairly easy to start using immediately. I understand that $50 in this economy is not nothing, but if you want to make full-length clips, this is something you need to invest in, because if you do, you are likely to make that money back fairly quickly. There is a link for Filmora Wondershare in the description below, just like all of my other referral links. One really great option about a lot of clip and subscription sites, which I have mentioned in a previous video, is that you can create your own preview. You don't just have to use their preview creator to put something together. As most of the time, it's just going to be a set 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, whatever it is. You can use Wondershare to create that. I'll typically create a trailer that is not watermarked so that I can put it directly on the Spicy site, and then one that is watermarked with a really, really faint, just like Sarah Sitwell over it, for social media, so that I can share it and people know, hey, this is watermarked from this person. I also have versions of each full-length clip with and without the logo so that I can create previews from the one without the logo and add what I need where I need it in the clip. I also recommend investing in an external hard drive to keep all of your content safe, because you may not always have access to the internet to be able to download the content that you've made. You may want to stop paying for certain storage options, and sometimes you might get your account hacked. You might get your account closed down for whatever reason. It's best to have everything on an external hard drive. If you're really smart, you'll have two. I have two. I have one in my office and one in my bedroom. The office one is always the up-to-date one, and I update the bedroom one once a month typically, as long as I've created new stuff. If I haven't created anything new, then there's no point, obviously. As I said before, I can't tell you what content to make. The important thing here is to make quality content that is unique to you, that represents you, but also stuff that you're comfortable with and something that you're going to be proud of. I hope this helped, and I'll see you in the next video.